Well, good morning, YouTube. All right, guys, today, just got a bunch of dumb stuff I got to get done, but I wanted to start by getting these waste oil drums out of the back of the trailer. I'm hoping that at some point this week that we're home, we're going to get to take one of the motorcycles out and go for a ride. Well, I can't unload the motorcycles with these oil drums in the way, and of course, I don't want to haul waste oil to Daytona with us, right? There's just no reason for it. So I want to get them out of the way. So typically what I do, I go ahead and back the little trailer up to the big trailer, and I just roll from one to the other. That way I don't have to get down to the gravel, go back up another ramp. Makes it relatively simple. So yeah, let's do that real fast. All right, easy enough, loaded. That'll get it over to the shop. But before I take it over to the shop, there is something else I want to do while we're here to the pickup. Part of the facelift. So I had actually mentioned in a video during the Smoky Mountain Bike Week about, trying to give some love to the Dooley. Truth is, there's been a few things that I've really wanted to do to it over the last couple of years, but because I don't drive it that often, it's been sitting at home. They just kind of get pushed to the wayside. But now that we're using this truck kind of full-time in service now, hauling the thrashing trailer around, I just thought it was kind of fitting to give it some of that love that it desperately needed. So you saw when we left Rapid City, or just before we left Rapid City, we installed the Sinister Diesel turbo piping kit, which adds a little bit of flow. It also looks pretty nice and eliminates that black plastic piece of crap pipe that was known for braking. And we did the vinyl wrap on it in Ocean City, giving the carbon fiber look to the hood and the tailgate. We just did an oil change on it last week. I did the brakes on it like at the end of last season. I also put some new taillights in it towards the end of last season, just because these were kind of getting a little cloudy and yucky, and that one over there had a slight crack in it, so it was holding some moisture. And also, while at Smoky Mountain, we put these nice headlights in it. Now, they're an OEM fitment headlight, but they're actually from the Harley-Davidson version of this truck, which they actually technically never made the Harley-Davidson in a two-wheel drive dually. It was always four-wheel drive, crew cab, short beds, single rear wheel. Anyway, but I always liked that look. Now, I know the grill doesn't quite match, but we're going to address that as well. And we got some better mirrors for towing. So today we're going to focus on the grill and the mirrors. So we're going to go from the truck looking like this to like this. All right, so we're going to start with the mirrors. This is just something that I picked up on Amazon. They seem to be packaged pretty decent. Ooh, they're heavier than I thought. There, wire harness, some paperwork, and I think that's it. Now, these should be relatively easy. As you see, we have the driver's side and the passenger side. There are only 4 bolts that hold everything on. It looks like it even comes with all new hardware. And then everything here should just be plug and play, supposedly. So, yeah, let's see if we can get this done really quick. It shouldn't be hard at all. All right, starting with the driver's side, got to pop off this panel here, and I believe 2 of the bolt holes are behind it. And then we'll have to take out 2 of these rubber grommets to access the other bolts. Yep, and there we go, all 4 bolts. And now you can see this just pops off. This was back here behind it, however, covering up the holes. It just kind of adheres on there. We'll save that in case we need to put it back on later. Let's go grab us a socket and unbolt these. All right, so the new fasteners are 10 millimeter, but it looks like the OEM fasteners are 11 millimeter. So we're gonna use both sockets. It's kind of hard to not drop those down inside the door. All right, and as I took out the last bolt, I made sure to hold on to the mirror because you can feel it kind of wanting to go. Now I'm gonna switch sides, pull it out. All right, there's our wiring harness, and the connection is down in there. I wonder if we gotta take the door panel off. Yeah, so it looks like the harness goes down into here, so it looks like I am gonna have to pull off the interior panel, the door panel, in order to get to. So I put one nut back on there just so that it doesn't fall while I do this. All right, so there's one small screw that went in behind that kind of a kick light, and there's one screw up here, but I can actually see my plug right there, but it fishes through the door. So I don't know if maybe I can do this without taking off the whole door panel. If I can just get that unplugged and get it fished through. All right, I was able to get it unplugged. Now I'm going to see if I can tie a string or something around that so that as I pull it through, I can hook the new wiring harness and pull it back through. Maybe. All right, so I had a roll of primary wire, and I just kind of wrapped it around the plug and zip tied it. Hopefully that will be what we need to get it out. Well, it looks like that was successful. All right, so the new mirror, I've got the wire routed out the way it should be. I've also got it tied to my fish tape, basically my primary wire. And I just got to hand it through the window and fish it through. All right, well, that worked pretty well. Now I just got to line everything back up here. I just put one nut on for now to hold it while I fish that through. And yeah, now let's get it all seated properly. Oh yeah, I got it all on. I had a little bit of trouble with this bolt though. Here's what happened. When I was holding the mirror up and I wanted to at least get a bolt started, I reached in here and I grabbed one of the original bolts that I took off and the socket for it, and I just spun it on by hand. No ratchet, just the socket, because it's, you know, it's recessed into a hole. I needed something to hold on to. I turned it a couple times and it stopped. I knew it wasn't tight, but it had stopped, and that was enough to hold it. Well, when I went to go do the final assembly, I couldn't get the nut that came with the mirrors to go back on there. I tried more than one nut. I tried it with the impact driver. I tried it by hand. It would just sit there and spin. It would not actually thread on, which is kind of weird. And then I eventually dropped it down inside the door. So it's in there somewhere. So I got the other three nuts on there that were the ones that came with the new mirrors. And then for that one, I put on one of the OEM nuts that I had taken off, and it threaded on just fine. So I don't know what I did. I checked the OEM nut to the studs on the other mirror, spins right on without a problem. So it's the same thread pitch. Just now I've got one nut in here that's an 11 millimeter head and the rest are 10 millimeter head. Not that that really matters to me, but at this point we can put this all back together, plug in our mirror, and go do the other side. Now these mirrors actually come with these little harness adapters. I don't think I need them on mine though, because this is what my plug looks like inside the door. And there's only 3 terminals in here, so I'm wondering if this is for a truck that didn't have heated mirrors and power mirrors, because then that would just be the run light, turn signal, and ground leads in there. But my truck has the power mirrors and the heated mirrors, so I have the bigger plug with a lot more wires in it. So I didn't need the adapters, which is good. All right, now over on the other side, I went ahead and tied up my tether wire before even unbolting the mirror so that we're ready for it when it comes. Well, on the passenger side, I ended up having to drop the door panel all the way down because the clearance between the panel and here was so tight that I couldn't get this to angle to go into the hole. And I was fighting and fighting and fighting with it. Well, it wasn't that hard. Once the screws are out, the panel pretty much just lifts right off. All right, and before I put everything back together, we're gonna go ahead and test the lighting. So I'll turn on parking lights, and yep, that one's working. That one over there is also working. We'll turn on the hazards. We got flashy flash there. And we've got flashy flash there. All right, so now I've got the key on. I'm also gonna check the power window function. So turn to the right mirror. I'm sorry, left mirror. That seems to work. All that works there. Go to the other mirror. That all seems to work. The next thing will be to hit the defrost. I gotta remember, how do I turn on the heated mirrors in this thing? Well, it's a little bit different than the Excursion. In the Excursion, I've actually got like a defrost button that I hit, and it'll defrost the rear window. It'll also turn on the heated side mirrors. I don't see a button here to do it, so maybe it's automatic with the heat. Oh yeah, I turned on the heat. I can feel them warming up already. Okay, so I'm gonna go check the other one. And yeah, I can feel the heat in them already warming up. Now, the only other thing that I'm noticing that I'm a little disappointed on, and maybe it's just because I picked the wrong one. I could have swore I picked the one that had the turn signal in the mirror as well, so I could see the turn signal from the driver's seat, as well as people that are in my blind spot could see it come on. And I don't see that feature on these, but not a big deal. I've lived this long without them. I'll live longer without it as well. All right, so I'm going to finish putting these door panels back together, and yeah, we'll move on to the next project. All right, so now we move to putting on the new grill, and this should be super, super easy. So on the grill, there are basically these 4 bolts on the top, and then the bottom part actually just kind of pops into clips. So you take out the bolts, you should be able to pop the whole thing right out. All right, not quite that easy. I did have to pop them out of those tabs. Challenging, but there she is. All right, and it looks like the new grill came with new clips for up there, but mine are good, so I think I'm just gonna leave them alone. But I did just remember something. This grill doesn't have the Ford logo in it, so I'm gonna have to transfer that. But when I ordered this grill and mirrors, I also ordered new badges for it that were like a really cool American flag badge, but it was like a black chrome. And I don't think I got those. I'm going to check the track. So I called Katie, and because all this was ordered under her Amazon account, and she said, yeah, the box is sitting there at the house. Somehow I missed it. So she's pulling in right now. She's bringing it to me so we can get this all put back together. All right, well, there they are. I don't remember seeing them in the house. And she said, yeah, they're just sitting right on top of the dining room table. So, yeah, I know I still got the protective cover on them, but yeah, American flag, but kind of blacked out. I think it'll look pretty nice on there. Let's get these installed first. Well, there's 2. Only one's going on the grill. I think the other one might fit the tailgate, but they came in a pack of 2. Well, it doesn't quite fit. That one pin right there doesn't locate with any of the holes, but those 2 look like they'll go right down in there. Now it's got 2-way tape on it, so I don't actually need to fasten it per se. The original one has got those little stamped nuts and then some kind of clips right there, but this is built different, so I don't think that's gonna work the same. Maybe I need to take that one apart. So I guess I can either cut that stud right there off, or I can drill a hole in the grill for that stud to clear. But then if I get that hole off even a little bit, it may cause this to not want to center properly. And with the 2-way tape that's on here, I don't really think we need it. So yeah, I think I'm just going to cut that stud off of here. All right, so now the logo was on there. I transferred the clips to the bottom, popped it in, bolted it in on top, and there we go. Now I did have a little bit of trouble getting all of those clips to line up, and that's because my front bumper is bent. Those of you that don't know, I did hit a deer back in like January or February of this year before bike week in the spring, and it bent it. So I think it's causing a little bit of an issue. And yes, bumpers are on the list of things to replace as well. But yeah, I think that really changes the look of the truck quite a bit, and I like it. I like it a lot. Now I'm going to be honest, this grill is painted black, right, instead of the chrome, which I kind of wanted that. I like the chrome insert but the black surround. But I can just tell this is really crappy paint, and it's probably not going to last very long. Now, with that said, I think what I'm going to do is ask Cullen to bring some more of this carbon fiber textured wrap with him to Daytona, and we'll do that black area in the carbon fiber, and maybe even this top piece here, this paint matched, and then that'll give it a whole kind of carbon theme going through there. What do you think? Leave a comment down below. Well, I guess there's no better way to finish off a facelift without giving it a good bath, right? It definitely needed it. It's been quite some time since it got washed. I think since before we went to Laconia was the last time it got a bath. So yeah, quick little scrub, looking pretty good. And now the irony in the whole facelift of this truck. The truck is not perfect by any means. There are a few nicks and scratches in the paint and whatnot. It's not in bad shape, it's just not perfect. But it's just kind of funny, I think, that now that I'm kind of in this gung-ho, hey, let's clean it up, let's make it look better, that's when like dumb stuff happens. So 2 nights ago, Katie decided to go check the mail. It was dark, so she didn't want to walk up to the mailboxes, so she jumped into the pickup and she drove up there to check the mail. And well, she got a little bit too close to the mailbox and scratched the crap out of the fender. So all the way from up there, you got some scuffs that'll probably buff out, and then this deep scratch. I'm hoping it's just in the clear. We might actually be able to buff it. I just find it ironic that it's when we decide to give it a facelift that the damage actually happens to it. Anyway, guys, we're going to end this video here. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Until next time, see ya. Keep those engines running. And if you watch this far in the video, leave a comment for Katie not to check the mail in the dark anymore.